Let's go Broncos! Something very strange just happened in Denver, and it's the kind of thing that could completely change the course of the NFL playoffs. The Broncos didn't just win another game, they made a play so subtle, so calculated, and so impactful that nobody in the national media is talking about it, but they should. Sean Payton may have just executed the smartest end-of-season strategy we've seen in years. And if you're a true fan, you need to know what's happening behind the scenes, because this isn't just about one game. It's about setting the entire AFC on fire. The rest of the NFL may be underestimating the Denver Broncos right now, but I'll tell you why that's a big mistake. If you're new here, welcome. But before we delve into what Sean Payton just did and why it could lead to a Super Bowl run, leave a like if you're a true Broncos fan and comment below. Go Broncos! We're coming to conquer the AFC. I want to see the energy in the comments. This is our moment. Now let's get down to business, because what just happened wasn't luck or chance. It was a masterclass in playoff manipulation. Now, let's talk about what happened on that field and why it matters more than most people understand. What Sean Payton did against the Chargers wasn't just about winning. It was about hiding the playbook. He gave them nothing. And that's not an opinion. It's backed by years of his coaching tendencies. This is what Payton does when his teams are elite and have already clinched key playoff positioning. He rests players. He simplifies the game plan. He shows the opposition just enough to stay sharp but nothing they can study. And that's exactly what happened. Despite the vanilla offense and conservative calls, the Broncos still covered the massive Vegas spread and crushed a divisional opponent with starters on both sides of the ball. Don't believe anyone telling you the Chargers ran up 4th and 5th string players. It's mathematically impossible with a 53-man roster. What you saw was Denver's defense absolutely dominate a team that had plenty of starters on the field, including their running back Kamani Vidal, who got blown up by Pat Certain too in a defining hit that sealed the tone of the game. And if you think the offense wasn't trying, you're missing the point. Bo Nix had more rushing yards than passing in the first half, a quiet yet dangerous hint of what could come in the playoffs. It's the kind of wrinkle that forces future opponents to game plan for multiple scenarios. That's intentional. That's Payton playing chess while others are playing checkers. And let's not skip over the injury news. There's huge relief coming out of this game. Garrett Bowles, who looked like a serious injury concern, returned and finished the game. With a bye week ahead, he now gets extra time to rest, which is absolutely massive for this playoff run. Let's talk defense, because this unit is playing out of its mind. The Broncos are the second best defense in the NFL by a margin of just 10 yards, and it's not just about preventing yards. It's about timely plays, and finally, turnovers. Sean Payton emphasized it all week. This team needed to flip the turnover margin, and they did, delivering a defensive touchdown and another crucial pick. Jaquan McMillion's pick off a tip ball reminded us all what happens when the ball finally starts bouncing Denver's way. This defense can be as impactful as the legendary no-fly zone if they keep this up. And let's give a shout out to Nick Benito, who has been on the verge of game-changing plays all year. If he starts forcing fumbles like Von Miller used to, then good luck to any quarterback stepping into Mile High in January. Speaking of altitude, yes, it matters. The Broncos have 2 home games, and every team in the playoffs knows that coming to Denver is a nightmare. You can't breathe. You can't hear. The Broncos crowd is back, and thanks to a brilliant move by the organization, Peyton Manning himself has been training the fans on when to get loud and when to stay quiet. That's a real advantage. And look, let's not act like we haven't seen what happens in other games. Just ask the Eagles or the Bears what it's like to lose to a team with nothing to play for. That didn't happen in Denver. The Broncos delivered, even without key defensive starters like Brandon Jones, Dre Greenlaw, and John Franklin Myers. The backups stepped up. They brought pressure. They forced mistakes. And they did it in the throwback uniforms, still undefeated. By the way, adding that extra spark of swagger to this run. Now, here's what's next. The Broncos get a week off. While the rest of the AFC is fighting for their playoff lives, Denver gets to recover, strategize, and wait. The likely scenario? A rematch against the Chargers. But depending on how the wild card games shake out, it could also be the Bills, Texans, Ravens, or Steelers. It doesn't matter who it is, Sean Payton already knows. That's the confidence this man brings. He hasn't missed yet. He told us Bo Nix would be elite. Check. He said we'd be hosting playoff games. Check. He said we could make a Super Bowl run. And now, we're 2 wins away from doing just that. Because now, the stage is set, and every small detail matters. Sean Payton's approach isn't just about strategy on the field, it's about controlling every variable off of it. And as the Broncos await their opponent, they're doing so from a position of power we haven't seen in nearly a decade. 2 home playoff games at Mile High. 2 chances to defend our turf in the loudest outdoor stadium in the NFL, where altitude is the 12th man, and Peyton Manning himself is coaching the crowd like it's game day in 2015. Let's talk mindset. This team isn't just trying to win, they're built to dominate. Every phase of the game is coming together. Special teams have been consistent. The defense has become a turnover-producing machine, and Bo Nix, while still early in his NFL journey, is playing with maturity, versatility, and confidence that reminds many in Broncos country of a young, dynamic leader. Sean Payton knew what he saw in Nix. He knew he had a quarterback who could adapt, run when needed, manage the game without being rattled, and now, potentially, break games wide open when the leash comes off in the playoffs. And remember, the Broncos were without key players in that last game. Brandon Jones, Dre Greenlaw, and John Franklin Myers didn't even suit up. Yet the defense didn't miss a beat. That speaks volumes about the depth of this team. That's championship-level roster construction. That's Sean Payton's vision in full effect. Building a team that doesn't panic under pressure, that doesn't rely on 1 or 2 stars to carry the weight. It's a complete roster, and now they're rested, healthy, and hunting. Let's go back to that Chargers game again for just a moment, because that conservative offensive playbook, that wasn't fear. That was calculation. The Broncos wanted to give nothing away. We've seen Sean Payton do it before. In his Super Bowl winning season with New Orleans, he lost the final game of the season to Carolina, scoring only 10 points. Why? Because he benched his starters and kept everything close to the chest. He did the same thing in 2018 before reaching the NFC Championship. This is part of the formula. It's a smokescreen, and it's working. Now, think about the psychology of it. If the Chargers are the opponent in 2 weeks, what did they actually learn from that tape? Almost nothing. They saw a watered-down version of an offense that will likely look dramatically different come playoff time. They saw Bo Nix run more than he passed. So now, opposing defenses will spend valuable prep time planning for something that may not even be part of the actual game plan in the postseason. That's genius. That's Sean Payton being 4 moves ahead. And this defense? If it continues forcing turnovers the way it did in the last game, the Broncos are going to be nearly unbeatable. Turnovers flip playoff games. They destroy momentum. And Denver's defense is now smelling blood. Jaquan McMillion's pick wasn't luck. It was earned through relentless pressure. Nick Benito, finally on the verge of those game-breaking plays, is looking more and more like a postseason X-factor. One forced fumble in a playoff game could be the difference between heartbreak and history. And don't underestimate the emotional momentum this team is carrying. Broncos country has rallied. The players feel it. The coaching staff is embracing it. There's a belief inside that building, the kind of belief that can take a team all the way. The kind of belief that says, we don't care who comes to Mile High, they're not leaving with a win. And as fans, we're part of that. We're the noise. We're the altitude. We're the pressure that visiting quarterbacks can't escape. This is a team that's undefeated in their throwback uniforms. A team that played smart, physical football even while holding back their real game plan. A team that is not only battle-tested, but playoff ready. So now, we wait. Who's coming to Denver? The Chargers? The Bills? The Texans? The Steelers? It doesn't matter. Sean Payton has his game plan ready. Bo Nix is rested and dangerous. The defense is locked in. Mile High is ready to erupt. Broncos country, this could be the beginning of something legendary. If you believe in this team, if you believe in the vision, then hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and comment below who you think the Broncos will face first. And if you're all in on a Super Bowl run, comment Go Broncos. This is our year. Click on the next video right here to break down the top 3 playoff matchups for Denver and why one of them might be the easiest path to the AFC title game. Don't miss it. Let's ride.